Yeah. So I have tried to bring Omoyele Sowore back in. So I hope the network won't really be the bigger problem tonight. Show, thanks for coming back. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you. I can hear you loud and clear. I hope you can hear me too.
I can hear you too, but we're having a bit of a delay, but we'll have to manage it. It seems that's what it is tonight, right? So we are starting from, are you still a Nigerian, by the way, in the book of Nigerian government? Let's start from that. Hearing about the deactivation of your, of what should be your identification, your passport, national ID, voter's card, and all that. What happened? It seems that in Nigeria, they have heard a lot about this broadcast, and somehow the network or the line continues to act up. So let me know if you can actually hear Sowore, because I can't. And this froze. I mean, sorry, somehow the screen is somehow frozen right now. So that's the issue. Let's see. It's quite shocking, because we don't usually experience that on my Egun's Diary Political. I'm going to please ask that you bear with me, I'll say. So give me a sec. It's terrible. So let's try. Can you hear me now, or you just speak on? If you heard the question I asked about you still being a Nigerian or not, yeah. Can you take that on? Let's see how far that goes, or we might do this on the WhatsApp call, please.
It's desperation. They cannot take my citizenship away. I'm a Nigerian. I was born here in Nigeria, and I was raised in Nigeria. I spent part of my time in the US, 20 years to be precise. There's no government that can wipe that away, regardless of how desperate or stupid they are. But this is a sign of a dying government. The government has lost complete faith and support. And I'm not surprised that they did that. And I know after that that we had entered into the new phase of opposition against my person. which also was followed up by the knife attack you saw yesterday in Abuja. So I'm sure you're going to talk about that.
I'm going to. hmm So, which means that you just let's put it
Yes.
this way. Yeah, you woke up, and then how did you know that they've deactivated your ID? That you raised the alarm? How did you know?
So since 2019, my bank accounts were deactivated. So I decided to go to a bank and reopen to get another bank account.
Okay.
And I submitted all the IDs required, and they got back to me confidentially that my IDs had been deactivated from the national database. I mean, database where they get verification of the
Wow.
authenticity of those IDs.
hmm
That's how I found out.
And then you approached court afterward. So you said they did that without any reason. No reason was given, and we were kind of shocked that can a government or a country just do that, right? Somehow deactivate your identification, including everything that tells us about you. So we are shocked that no reason was given up to now. Or have they given you any reason?
No, we've given them 7 days, and I think the 7 days is coming up. Take action against them upon the expiration of the 7 days ultimatum that you can count on. And they will have to explain in their own courts why they did that. Typically, they will probably come and deny that this did not happen,
Mm,
uh, but we have sufficient evidence to show that this is what exactly they did. When I did call somebody in the National Identity Management Office who I
mm,
knew, he said, "Well, maybe this was because of my case." Of course, I knew it was because of my opposition, my virulent opposition against the government.
mm. Talking about your virulent, opposition to the government, they have done everything to deny you justice in their courts, but you have never stopped going to that court. Now, it has come to a stage whereby they even attack you in front of the court. Tell me, for the opt-in time, right? Every time you go out there to show solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there are always hired, paid, or people waiting to attack you. How is that? Can you hear me? Sure.
Yes. Well, we know the people doing it. It's the government, the Buhari regime, and they have operators who carry out the funding, the transportation of these attacks. But they also carried out with in conjunction with the police. And I know a particular police officer who also arrested me during my first my first attendance of that case. His name is Hassan Abdullahi, Big Boy. Hassan Abdullahi, Big Boy is what he calls himself on Facebook. He's a DPO of the Federal Secretariat Police Station. He's the one organizing those guys. He knows all of them. In fact, he confided in me one time that the reason
Yeah, please continue. I'm just showing the picture of the knife.
because this is
Or
my
I think it's
country,
frozen again. Okay,
uh,
continue. Mhm.
my activism is the oxygen that powers in the progress of my country, and I'm not going to allow you sending thugs after me, assassins after me, to prevent unfortunate country, and these are unfortunate times. This guy who is holding a knife yesterday was just meters away from me, and we were just lucky that we were conscious, having been attacked several times, to see that they had come because they look a certain way. And the alarm raised by me and some members of our team, our security team, was what had probably prevented a tragedy that could have happened yesterday. This guy was determined to kill, as you can see. He brought
Yes.
out the knife, this knife from his trouser,
Mm.
and started wielding it immediately. But he was chased far away from me, and our security team was able to get me to my car uh, before more damage was done. And one of them was picked up and arrested. I mean, by citizen arrest. And the DPO I was telling you about, Hassan Abdullahi, I think they said the CSP, came and rescued him. He actually brought out his pistol, but the pistol jammed, in an attempt to rescue him. And he took them away.
To rescue one of your
we had to
attackers.
release him. Of course, it was on tape. It was on tape. And we have another tape of one of the guys, changing into another clothes at the back of the DSS van from the clothes he was wearing to attack me into a white T-shirt. We have a tape of it. They're all on my Facebook page. You can see them there.
Well, we thank God that they
so
are.
This is daylight. Yeah, it was daylight. So you know who they are and you know who their supporters are. The DPO came out and brought out his pistol, but the pistol jammed to rescue the guy who was picked up by, because now I was not the only person attacked. When they couldn't get me, they went after journalists. They even collected the video camera of a Reuters reporter and his tripod and took it away. After beating him up, then they beat up another journalist who is the secretary of the National Union of Journalists.
Right. Sure. We have all of that on tape as well. And talking about keeping record and holding them responsible. There was a video I'm about to play now, and I want you to react to that after, because this is what will take us into how the media in Nigeria have been aiding and covering the oppression and the criminalities of the rulers of Nigeria. It was you and one of the journalists, if you wouldn't mind, okay? Just a moment.
Greatest Nigerian people.
Yes.
I have not. Yes.
The word revolution is what
Don't
made some allegations.
Don't say that anything got me into trouble. That's the word that got the government into trouble.
That was what got you into trouble.
That's what got the government into trouble.
Yes.
It what got Buhari into
But that's
trouble,
not
not
the
me.
issue here.
Yes.
You've actually laid some allegations. But
Yes.
one will question the fact that we've seen you say that a lot of people died at the Lekki toll gate.
Yes.
No family members have come out to delay.
It is not true. It is you people in the media that are not doing your work.
Yes.
CNN actually reported a woman yesterday that the son died in her hands.
You are not correct.
You understand? You are the ones covering up the atrocities of the government. Yes. If you do your job, which is investigative, you are speaking for the government, you should be speaking for the people. No. Are you not aware? No, we are not fighting you. I'm in the media with you too. But we have to challenge ourselves, media people. I am saying to you, are you not aware that 99 persons were recovered on the streets of Lagos between the 20th and the 24th of October? Our lawyer, yes.
Where are these bodies?
They are the north.
Where are the family members?
There's a professor Obakunwa in Lagos who came out to the Lekki panel to confess openly that he operated on 99 persons with bullet wounds. I didn't make this up. You say you are not aware. You can blame me for that.
99 died, not bullet wounds. You said he died.
No. He said he found bullet wounds on them.
Okay.
You understand? Yes. So you should ask him that. That is the official coroner of the Lagos State government. And you are aware also that they said they covered 22 people from Ikoyi prison. If you are not aware, I'm telling you.
I didn't know that some protesters are still behind bars. So,
and there are 300 protesters still in detention. The Nigerian media is not talking about them. Only a few of them started talking about them 3 days ago. Well, I watch Arise on the regular basis. I have not seen you guys pinning on it.
We have been talking about
3 days ago.
All
right, so let's get them out. Why should anybody be in detention for fighting for their fundamental rights? Since 1 year and there's no trial known and the media is not talking about.
So what is the
and we are talking about
having this commemoration?
I have just explained it. It's to let people know that the greatest rebellion that ever happened in this country in the last 20 years, even in my lifetime, should be commemorated because another one is coming. Whether they like it or not. Yes, a rebellion is still coming that will make this one look like a child play. As long as we continue on this perilous path that the government of Nigeria is taking us.
All right. Omoyele Sowore would have to say.
Thank you very much.
A people united can never be defeated. A people united can never be defeated. The people united can never be defeated.
Sorry, guys. I lost Omoyele Sowore while we were playing that. So he's going to rejoin us because that's where I want us to go to next when it comes to the effort of the Nigerian government to continue to limit his effort in rallying around the support among the oppressed and suppressed Nigerians to fight back the oppression as the government continue to use the same pool of unemployed, or let me say the pool of weaponized poverty in the country to continue to cut off those who probably are trying to help, are doing their best. In this case, Omoyele Sowore. So what is coming next as we are now in 2022 and many are preparing for 2023? Abasho, I know the network is a complete, what do you call it, issue tonight, but can you hear me now? Can you? I think it's frozen again. So, but please bear with me, guys. So can you hear me now? You're back.
I didn't hear the last question you had. It's possible that these guys are flagging my internet.
Oh, bless you. So I was talking about, I think it's frozen again now. That's the issue. Hang on. Right. Hello, can you hear me there? That is the network problem from Abuja, Nigeria. It's a big issue, I'll say. So let's see. So I was going to take Omoyele Sowore through the statement he made last in that video concerning the fact that NSAS 1, NSAS 2 should be something that you know, that they should dread. I'm talking about the power brokers and the gatekeepers in Nigeria. Even though while we wait for Omoyele Sowore to rejoin us again from Abuja, I have this, which I picked up earlier today. Some of you have heard that, or you probably have read about that, or seen it, or you have seen the video. It is the Jaga bandits in Mina to go and see the Maradona in Mina. That is Babangida. And the effort there was to probably sell his candidacy. A few weeks ago, let me say about 2 weeks ago, Babangida made the headline when he said he would endorse Oshibajo to succeed Bokwari in 2023. The whole 2023 race is, is eating up, and it's one of the it's one of the stuffs I want to take Omoyele Sowore on. And I love the fact that he's taking a stand to say, don't deceive yourselves. In February 2022, which is just about 2 weeks away, Nigerians are going to have to face how to survive the fuel increase in Nigeria, the price of a fuel in Nigeria, something that they have probably said they are going to work on a palliative on as well. So these are a few things I want us to touch on tonight, if the network is going to let us. But it doesn't seem that they are letting us do what we want from Abuja. I'm perfectly fine from this end, but the connection from Abuja is slowing us down. Sure. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes, and you, I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
But
now, I was going to take you on. Yeah, I was going to take you on the last clip I played. It was you and a journalist, having a bit of conversation, I'll call it. And then you were pretty much telling them to their faces that they contributed to the silence, or probably the awareness that people should have on their oppressive leaders, which probably keep them more in power. So then you said they should expect the biggest, or the biggest and bigger than the NSAS. So what do you mean? Like, can I take you on that? Sorry.
Yeah, I am very convinced, having spent some time here in Nigeria and the federal capital here in Abuja for more than 2 years now,
Yeah.
and listening to Nigerians all across Nigeria and across the world, that something bigger is going to come that would hit these people when they are least prepared. And I just have a duty to say what I need to say convincingly, as I say with my chest, that the way Nigeria has been run to the ground, the way the oppression of Nigerians have taken a dimension, a different dimension that have never been witnessed before under civilian rule, there's going to be resistance, and it doesn't matter how we look at it. It's going to be heavy resistance against those in power today, and you're already seeing some signs of it. They just need to make one more mistake, and they will be badly hit by the mass of our people.
So when talking about making a mistake, they have made many, some of them bloody, and they seems to get away with that. Now, the next one they have promised Nigerians, which seems like is a no-go back, I mean, no going back of a thing, price increase on the fuel from 160 something naira to 302 naira. And it seems that the Nigeria Labour Congress, they are coming back as usual to say they're going to take a stand. So,
I'm sorry to say this is not something that we should be saying. Sometimes as movement people ourselves, but I would never trust the Nigerian Labour Congress on anything. I've not seen anybody or any act on their part that shows that they can be trusted. I think what you might get from them is some kind of strike action or rally that ends up in the offices of the governors, and then you might just get some shaving off of the real price, maybe 2 naira out of 300, because that's probably what they agree with them anyway, so that they look as if there's some kind of victory on that part. So, but that's why it is dangerous also for government, because nobody believes the labor movement anymore. So people are going to take laws into their hands to ensure that they enforce their survival. Because if you increase fuel prices, as it's been anticipated, and I don't think they would change their mind, it will hit people's pocket and stomachs, and people will react, and they will react in ways that's never been seen before. Don't forget that people are already tired of this regime. They're tired of everything, and you bring this on. This is just like this is the last straw.
you think so? Sure.
I believe so. I'm on ground here, and see, some of us saw NSAS coming, but not many people saw it coming. We knew it would come because that has been building since 2019 when we started revolution now, anyways. So,
So one of the questions that people want
it's the
to
reason why we were the first to go to the police headquarters to start NSAS. And when I went there in 2020, I didn't warn them. I warned the police spokesperson who came out to see us and said, "You think this is a joke, right? The next time you hear from the people, your microphone will no longer be relevant." And it came to pass.
Now, one of the things that people normally ask, and one of them they want me to ask you today, is that we have seen so many things that should have pushed Nigerians indeed to push back or fight back as we would want to, as we always want it to be. Okay, but it seems that as Nigerian gets to that stage, they just kind of a bridge. For example, Nigeria is broke as we speak, but the flamboyancy or the extravagancy of these guys continue to go in like on a roller coaster. Nigeria has a budget of 17 billion, sorry, 17 trillion, and they're going to borrow 12 trillion, right? 40% of the population unemployed. right? And then the largest population hungry and all of that. So people feel like what else could really, really push Nigerians to fight back now that Tinubu is running for president again? Sure.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. And I want to say it in a very calm manner so that more people can get my point.
Right.
Part of the reason why the revolution we're talking about hasn't happened is because we get easily diverted, And your show is my witness because I come on this show once in a while. Remember when we were doing Odudua, Biafra, I kept telling everybody, look, you're dealing with deaf and dumb people. You are dividing your efforts by, going in different direction. Everybody who wants Nigeria to change, who wants Nigeria to metamorphosize into something different, is asking for a revolution. So why are we not all in the same boat? Well, it was name calling. Some people said we're not Yoruba enough because I said, no, that's not the case. And now look at where we are. Some of the people who in those days were saying that Odua or not, I heard are now supporting Tinubu. Some of them are supporting this coward, Oshibajo. Some of them are supporting, even some other candidates. Everybody has pinched tent somewhere, somehow. You remember Nina's come out and said that some Yoruba agitators collected 350 million naira from Oshibajo.
That's right.
Even in your country of residence, there was supposed to be a protest against Oshibajo. They couldn't agree on it because there was something going on the ground. There was supposed to be a major protest in New York in October. It didn't really take hold. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that maybe it's time to listen to ourselves and join hands together. All that effort that was spent, which seems to have died down a little bit now, could have worked better if all of us are pursuing the same agenda and going after our real enemies. We are not our enemies. Sowore is not your enemy, regardless of how you like to put it. But I'm an enemy of those who are underdeveloped in Nigeria, who have arrested the progress of the country. If you're an enemy of those people, truly, we should be in the same boat, not fighting ourselves. But that was a lot of energy, a lot of resources spent, and a lot of time spent in directions that could have been better managed if it was, compact and focused. It still won't stop people who want to do those things from doing it. But what I keep saying on your show, and which I say everywhere, is that there's no how you are going to create a dual republic without having to deal with the enemies of your enemies in Nigeria first. Now, look at Bola Tinubu that you mentioned. He has already come out. He's doling out. He's doling out 50 million naira per state. Every state he went to, he's doling out 50 million naira. Where did he get the money from? We know. And he's already settled some people. I'm not accusing anybody directly. I don't have information, so I can't mention names. If I do, you trust I'll mention names. And he has become the person everybody is talking about, whether rightly or wrongly, right?
Yeah.
So, whereas we wouldn't have been here had we all, put our efforts together to fight these people and I think it's not too late.
So talking about the role of the money, and now that we are in election year, which means that the system
by
is
every means necessary. So,
sorry.
That's why, there's the reason I come to have this conversation from time to time. I love everybody's out there who's looking for a better Nigeria, whether a smaller piece of Nigeria or a big piece of Nigeria. And some who are looking for a better part of the world. But the last time I came on your show, I think I did this analysis very, very well, in my view, that we have common enemies everywhere. Now people can see that it would have been better off if we can all come together and make this fight a quick one, because we are fighting a bunch of cowards, but they look powerful because we are not united. They're not that powerful. These are a bunch of cowards. I mean, how can you say Malami is powerful? How can you say Buhari is powerful? How can you say Shivaji is powerful? How can you even say Tinubu is powerful? They're powerful because we have surrendered our sovereignty and our dignity to them.
The last
Us.
time,
We let them
yeah,
step
the
over
last,
us,
sure.
because we have become like the red carpet.
Hmm. The last time you were here, Omayegun's Diary Political,
Yes.
you said you won't have to appeal to any section of this or of the people, talking about the media, talking about the influencers who are currently pretending that they are lost. I bet you are seeing them on Twitter these days. They are holding, hosting space, what did they call that? Spaces or what have you. They are hosting all of that about talking about election. But the last time you were here, you said if the young people are smart enough, they won't be rooting for election, right? Now that they've actually possibly de-citizened you now, something that happened after you came here the last time, do you still think it's a waste of time preparing for an election that these guys are organizing? Do you still feel?
No, so get me very clear.
Mhm.
What I said at that time is happening now.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with elections if they are proper and democratic, right?
Yeah.
But look at it. We're about a year away from elections.
Mm.
There's no law that's going to govern that election for next year. Of course, eventually Buhari will sign a watered down version of the electoral bill. They will, because they just sometimes also, it's part of their strategy to just keep you busy with all kinds of hubris. But I was saying that they can take a stand. Young people can take a stand that they can determine or decide which kind of election they want, not the kind of selection that these people are planning. That was what I was saying. And it looks like election itself, or preparing for election, or asking people to go and collect PVC, is in itself a business. So, and that business is rolling in now, because that's that's how we are programmed to think and behave, that elections by themselves can solve our problems. But whereas election might be able to solve our problems, selection can solve our problem. These people are not planning election, they are planning selection. But if young people can stand up now and say, look, we want an election, then we will have an election, because we will have the final say. We have the power. You see, what something that breaks my mind, my heart, is to know how powerful Nigerians are, but how powerless they carry on every day. They just, and we can be very pathetically powerless when you wake up and you see people who yesterday were like sound minds, you think, or intelligent, and then next moment they're blabbing either on the internet or radio or TV in support of the same.
Mm.
That gets a little bit disconcerting. So, but I was of the opinion that we should continue to demand for a, a level playing field, and that young people can decide what they want. And now it seems like people are pitching tents with the same enemies of the country. But I must say that so far, I'm not too sad about the reactions the likes of Tinubu of this world are getting. It looks like there's some kind of reasonable rejection of his theory, idea, and personality or person. Uh, and if that could be sustained, which I can't promise will be sustained,
Mm.
it might send a serious message to their class. But what is the essence of rejecting Tinubu and campaigning for Shibaju, a coward? I mean, what does Shibaju campaign on? Continuity? You understand?
We'll call it
Um,
continuity, of course. Mm. I think we are still having issue or trouble with the line. Some said that they are possibly jamming the line. I love when people are watching from Nigeria and they can tell and assume the kind of invincible power that these dictators in Nigeria kind of wield. They call it invincible. Jam the line, not make sure less people have to see it. They have all the technology to do that. And the network itself is complete, shite, like we say here in Scotland. It simply means that a third world internet